The Swiss professional tennis player Roger Federer is known for his humbleness and his respect for other sportsmen and fellow rivals, and even Rafael Nadal, with whom he forms the greatest tennis rivalry of all time, his best friend. The champion once said, "I'm just a normal guy and all my winning shots were just lucky." And this luck allowed him to afford the wonderful house we'll be looking at today. Hey guys, welcome to Luxury Plus. If you like to get updated with all the luxury lifestyle and how the rich make and spend their money, please subscribe to our channel. Also, why should you be behind everyone? So press the bell icon to never miss an update after every upload. Without any further ado, let's get started. Roger Federer's home is located in the Swiss municipality of Wollerau, overlooking Lake Zurich. The 39-year-old moved there in 2014 and shares it with his wife, parents, and 4 kids. The residence was built from scratch over a 1.5-acre plot of land. Some might even call it a glass house, as it has several floor-to-ceiling glass windows. Roger Federer commissioned this architectural marvel almost a decade ago, spending £6.5 million in the process. The Federer family home is built over 3 floors. It's divided into 2 separate apartments, one for Federer, his wife and kids, and another for Federer's parents, Robert and Lynette. Aside from the incredible scenic view, there's plenty for Roger to do. The property has a swimming pool, complete with a spa, as well as a first-class gym. Both will ensure Fed stays on top of his game. There's also an underground car park where he can park his exquisite Mercedes-Benz collection. However, it's his parents that profit the most. Family man Roger believed this to be the ideal home for his Slovakian-born wife Mirka and their 4 children, Mila, Charlene, Lenny, and Leo. But he was quick to make sure his mom and dad were also on board. That's why he built 2 separate apartments within the 3 stories where they're believed to reside. Roger has always spoken highly of how his parents raised him. He once revealed that they were never pushy and showed an interest in everything he did, not just tennis. That made him vow to parent the same way they did with his own children, so perhaps having them close at hand will help show him the way. However, Roger has kept his home life tightly under wraps, and so there are practically no photos of the Swiss tennis star inside his property. But it's clear the scenery nearby is to die for, since he shared several snaps of the snow-capped mountains, rolling hills, and blue ice waters in partnership with Switzerland Tourism. On a trip to Switzerland sometime in 2019, Dave Simonara, author of the book Footsteps of Federer, had the opportunity to film the piece of land on which stands Roger Federer's new house. While there is no semblance of a house visible in the video, there are some pictures that allow us to have an idea. In keeping with the style of the neighborhood, the new house is expected to be an understated, single-story building. Amongst Federer's most noteworthy neighbors in this luxury neighborhood will be Federer's close friend and business associate, tennis legend Jorge Paulo Lemann. The municipality of Wollerau is very attractive as a home location for wealthy individuals given its low income tax rates. Some of Federer's neighbors include Formula 1 stars Felipe Massa and Kimi Räikkönen. The residents of the region, including Roger Federer, pay around 10 to 12% of their income in taxes, which is less than half the rate in cities like Zurich, Basel, and Geneva. Despite owning another property in Dubai, the 20-time Grand Slam champion even recently revealed he has no plans to move away from Switzerland, where he can hike, cycle, and even try mountain biking when he retires. He said, "I feel like I've always represented Switzerland, and I've done my fair share to be an ambassador for the country. But for me to do it on an official mission is a nice thing to do. I feel like I had to be a bit older to do this. At around 40 years old, I've been to maybe 60 countries. I live in Switzerland now, and I will continue to live in Switzerland." Federer's earnings. Roger Federer stands in 7th place amongst the world's highest-paid athletes of 2020 to 2021, according to Forbes' recently updated rankings. The Swiss, with earnings of about $90 million in sponsorship and prize money, this is the only tennis player in the top 10 of the list that looks at the earnings of sportspersons between May 2020 and May 2021. Last year, Roger Federer had topped Forbes' list of the world's highest-paid athletes for the first time in his career, with pre-tax earnings of $106.3 million. Back then, he led several elite sportspersons like Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Conor McGregor. But this time, he's a little lower in the pecking order. Roger Federer has barely played tennis over the last 12 months. He underwent double arthroscopic surgery on his knee last year, which put him out of commission for almost the entire 2020 season. In 2021, Federer has so far played just one tournament, the Qatar Open in Doha, where he lost in the quarterfinals. The 20-time major champion's absence from the court means he's had very little opportunity to accumulate prize money earnings. Roger Federer took home a measly $35,600 from his quarterfinal appearance at the Qatar Open. However, he earned a lot of money from his sponsorship deals with brands like Rolex, Credit Suisse, On, and Uniqlo. The Swiss put his downtime to good commercial use, turning up for advertising gigs with Lindt, Barilla, Mercedes-Benz, and Switzerland Tourism in 2020. Roger Federer earned less than 1% of his annual tally of $90 million from prize money. He's the athlete in the top 10 list to have such an extreme skew in income distribution. UFC star Conor McGregor, meanwhile, topped the list with earnings of $180 million over the last 12 months. $22 million of that amount came from McGregor's work inside the octagon. Federer is attractive from a marketing standpoint because he's an archetype of how tennis views itself, says Bettina Cornwell, academic director at the Warsaw Sports Marketing Center at the University of Oregon's Lundquist College of Business. He's graceful and composed, he's stylish, never gauche, and importantly, he inspires younger players to behave similarly. Consider Rafael Nadal's respect for Federer. Sportico estimates the 20-time Grand Slam champion has earned at least $1 billion during his career from prize money, endorsements, and appearance fees since he turned pro in 1998. The vast majority was banked off the court, as his career prize money is $130 million, second all-time behind Djokovic. His on-court resume is astounding, with 103 career ATP titles, 237 straight weeks ranked number 1, and a run of 18 Grand Slam finals over 19 events between 2005 and 2010. Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic are the stars of this golden age of men's tennis. The Big Three have racked up a combined 59 Slam titles, with Djokovic, 19, nipping at the heels of the record shared by Fed and Rafa. But Federer is in a class all by himself for off-court earnings. Federer took a greater control of his career off the court when he left sports agency giant IMG in 2012 and launched Team 8 with his longtime agent Tony Godsick. His earnings have soared since. The boutique agency is completely geared to support Federer's business endeavors and has added a small roster of athletes like 17-year-old rising American tennis star Coco Gauff. Federer is at the top of every tennis promoter's wish list for lower-tier events, allowing him to command appearance fees of $2 million or more for these tournaments. He's also embarked on barnstorming exhibition trips like his 2019 tour of South America that netted him at least $50 million for the 5-match tour. He carved out time for other exhibitions that have helped raise more than $50 million for his eponymous foundation focused on educating children in Africa. Companies have flooded Federer with big cash endorsements, but his biggest payday might come from an equity-based deal he signed with startup Swiss sneaker brand On in late 2019. Federer invested in the company as part of the agreement, and his stake would be worth hundreds of millions of dollars based on a potential IPO this year that values the company at $5 billion, according to Reuters. So this brings us to the conclusion of today's video. Let us know how you like the house in the comments below. Till then, hope to see you in another video.